Hey guys, this is Gaines. So for a while now, I've been wanting to do a set of videos about some of the common misconceptions that I've found in the Infinite Black over the years. I've found that a lot of the mathematics behind the game and how some of the mechanics work are pretty poorly understood. Some of the topics I'm planning on covering are how the evasion mechanic works, how damage is calculated, and about how some of the gear works. For example, why the tank is so powerful, and the advanced munitions versus the advanced electronics. But what I'm talking about today is the misconception about a ship's max level. So let's get started. So here are the current rankings of the top 20 ships by level. You'll see that I'm right around 18, 19 right now at the bottom there. So this video is about max level, and just about everyone knows in the game that you're not going to get anywhere remote close to the max level if you don't have a roid set. So I'm going to focus on the math behind roiding. If you're new to the game, a roid set is a set of gear that you wear to drive around and basically mine the asteroids floating around space. So in the Infinite Black, as your level goes up, the amount of experience points you earn per NPC kill or per asteroid that you mine diminishes. You can see right on the bottom of this page, which is found on the Spellbook website, that for each level your ship goes up, after level 25, you lose 0.2% experience points on anything you kill or mine. So anyone with a basic understanding of algebra at first look would conclude that a ship's max level should be 525. Alright guys, so to really understand why this is false, we need to take a close look at how experience points work. First, let's take a look at what an NPC is worth at its very base level of XP. So I have my little level 16 ship here. He's under the level 25 threshold, so he doesn't get diminishing XP returns. As you can see, he doesn't have any gear that gives him any additional XP. You're going to see that when I kill him here, he's going to give about 117 XP. Now let's see what happens when we add a few levels. So the ship I normally play in game is Capital Gains. He's level 332 currently. As you can see, he doesn't have any gear that gives him any additional experience points bonuses. Let's see what happens when we kill the same NPC. And of course we get 45 experience points, which was what was expected. Now let's see what happens when we add a gear bonus. You'll see that my ship here has a 64% increase in experience points. I've chosen to show you the entire footage of me killing this invader to avoid anyone from thinking that I've tampered with it in any way, shape, or form. It wouldn't be the first time I've been in a debate with another player and I was accused of altering physical evidence. And you're going to see that I earn 120 experience points, which is actually more than the NPC was at his base level. So how is this possible if, due to my level, I should be getting just over a third of the normal experience points? I think most people assume that it should look something like this, which would add up to 74, but that's not how it works. So here are the variables I'm going to use in my equation. This is how it actually works. And I'll show you a couple of quick examples. So we'll start with my main ship, level 332. He's going to have a 28.5% gear bonus. That same NPC should come out to 78.46 XP earned. Of course, it rounds down. So now that we understand how experience points work, let's take a look at how mining asteroids works. So let's take a look at a couple pieces of gear that a roid set uses to gain such a high level. A prospector is a pretty simple concept. It basically multiplies the amount of experience points you get every time you mine an asteroid. The multiplication factor of the prospector is based off of how rare it is. You can see that the ultimate prospector multiplies the experience points earned per asteroid by 7 times. The other important piece to a good roid set is the harvester you're using. I'd like to point out that the harvest capacity is what you're basically earning experience points on. When you harvest an asteroid, each type of harvester collects a different number of resources from the asteroid. So for example, if you're using a DCD, you're collecting 5 times the resources that you would not using any harvester. Some of the other factors that affect the experience points that you earn when you harvest asteroids or kill an NPC are, for example, your garrison, as you can see in the picture, gives you a 10% XP bonus if it's deployed. The last factor that we're concerned about for the case of this video is the XP bonus you get from the gear you're wearing. And I'd like to point out that if your garrison is deployed, your XP bonus from your garrison is shown on your gear on the info page. If you're mining the Rift, you get a 2 times bonus, and if you're using MS, you also get a 2 times bonus. So let's take a look and see where the roids actually start. I've got a ship here that's pretty much completely bare, just to show you guys what XP the roids actually start at. Just to be clear, there's a variance, and I'll get into that here shortly. So I've got a couple short clips here just to demonstrate, but what you're going to get at the very base level here is either an XP of 4, 5, or 6. The number that they're actually worth is 5.25. The variance that occurs is either 1/4 of a point or 3/4 of a point in either direction, and then the number is rounded so you see a whole number. I'll show you another couple more quick examples. This time I've added a rare prospector to the mix. So you're seeing that 5.25 with the variance, then multiplied by 3 for the rare prospector. So when we add a harvester into the mix, things get a little bit more complicated. Early in the equation, some of the numbers are rounded by the resource, but essentially this is what you get at the base level before the prospector takes effect for each harvester. You'll notice that they're exactly 3 experience points apart. If you go through the trouble of testing these numbers with some fairly weak writing gear early on, you're going to notice that the numbers are a little off because of the way they round. But as your level goes up and you start using better roid gear and you start compounding that number more, you'll see that those numbers are accurate, and I'll show you a few examples. So I'm using my level 332 ship with a 64% gear bonus. It also has a DCD on it, which means the roids are going to start at 21.25. After you apply the variance, you're going to actually earn one of the 4 numbers on the screen in XP. We can take each of those 4 numbers and we can pump them into our formula that I proved earlier in the video was accurate, and we're going to be left with one of 4 values you're going to earn when you mine the asteroid. I'm not going to walk you through doing the actual algebra. I suggest if you're not able to do that, you should spend less time playing games and more time in math class. But here's the result we get. So now that we've factored for our gear bonus and our level, our prospector is going to multiply that base XP earned by, in our case, 7 times. The result is going to be rounded to the nearest whole number, and then we're going to get 4 times that because we're mining the Rift and we have Mind Surge on. So these are the 4 numbers that I'm actually going to earn when I'm mining asteroids. So here's some examples. Now keep in mind I haven't cherry-picked these. These were all done in a row in order. This is just what I happened to get. I think I only hit 2 of the 4 numbers, but if you look back at the beginning of the video in the introduction, you'll see me writing the same set, and you'll see me hit all 4 of these numbers, and nothing different. Of course, I'm trying to peacefully mine some asteroids as usual, and Dynasty is intruding on my program. Alright guys, let's change a couple variables just to show that I've got this accurate. I'm going to be using pieces this time. He's got a 57% gear bonus, and he's level 205. If you run the numbers through the equation, the same way we did before, he's going to get one of four numbers. He's going to get 684, 702, 718, or 736. Let's see what happens. So I guess we can safely say that that seems accurate. Let's take it a step further. Let's try it on a ship that's dramatically lower level. I've got another ship here that my son runs, level 130. I'm going to be using that same ride set I did initially. It's got a 64% gain. If all my math still holds up, he's going to hit 820, 840, 860, and 880. So at this point, I would say that we can safely say that I've got the numbers correct behind how leveling works. So let's get to the bottom of what the actual max level is. To do that, we're going to have to identify within the game a gear set that has the highest XP bonus possible. When we do that, we're going to have to remove the prospector, which is going to make it extremely difficult to get this high of a level, but still it's possible. If I'm not mistaken, this is the gear set with the highest XP bonus. Now let's look at why that's important. So let's look at our equation here. As long as the result of the left side of the equation, shown here, is higher than the result of the right side of the equation, shown here, we will continue to keep earning experience points. With that concept, we can simplify our equation to the one below to solve for what the max level actually is. And there you have it. Thanks for watching, guys.